everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about 5 driving test dangerous actions that will cause you to fail. Now, these are dangerous things that you should avoid at all costs. And in most cases and in most places, they're going to cause you to fail your test as soon as you do them. So please avoid them. Let's get right into the video. Number 1 is if the examiner has to take control of the car. Now, in most places, the car that you use for your driving test is going to have an extra set of controls. If the driving test examiner has to take control of the car for any reason, it's usually considered a dangerous action and it is an immediate fail. So please don't ever create a situation or get yourself in a situation where the driving test examiner has to take control of the wheel, the brake, or the gas pedal, or the emergency brake, or the shifter, or anything at all. If they have to touch the wheel, it means that if you were alone, that would be dangerous. So that's why it's usually a fail immediately, okay? Number 2 is mounting the curb. If you mount the curb, usually it's an immediate fail because it's dangerous. There could be a pedestrian there, there could be a tree there, there could be an animal there, there could be a barrier there. So it's dangerous, it really is. Now, if you brush against the curb, that's a little bit different than mounting the curb. And in most cases, most of the time, brushing up against the curb will cause you to lose points, but probably not fail. But mounting the curb, meaning getting your tire on the curb, usually results in a failure. So please avoid it. It's better that you park slightly further from the curb, like slightly too far away from the curb, than to park too close to it where you mount onto it. Number 3, touching the yellow line while driving or going over the yellow line. Now, it all depends on where you live. In most cases, where judging by the people that I've spoken to, if you go over one of the white lines, which divides a similar direction of traffic, it divides the lanes of cars going in the same direction, you'll probably lose some points, right? But it probably won't cause you to fail immediately. Like I said, this is just most of the time. And most of the time, if you mount a yellow line, or if you go over the yellow line or touch the yellow line with any of your tires, it usually results in a failure, because that means that you're literally driving in the opposing lane of traffic, even if it's only partly. So in reality, you should avoid going over any of the lines, but definitely try to avoid going over or touching a yellow line that separates the opposing lanes of traffic, okay? Number 4, if you get into an accident, okay? Even if the accident isn't your fault, most of the time from the people that I've spoken to, it's going to result in a failure or a retest, okay? So you want to avoid getting into an accident at all costs. Really try to avoid getting into an accident. There's almost no way that you can legitimately pass your driving test after being in an accident. So just really try and be a defensive driver, because if you're a defensive driver, it's going to be easier for you to avoid accidents. Really try to avoid it at all costs if you can, okay? Last but not least is number 5, which is getting into an almost accident. So if you almost cause an accident, you're probably still going to fail. I'll give you an example. Let's say you switch lanes and you cut someone off. So the person behind you that you cut off had to slam their brakes. If they didn't slam their brakes, you would have caused an accident. So even though you didn't cause an accident, you're probably still going to fail because you're still relying on them slamming their brakes. Let's say you're waiting to turn left and you're waiting to turn left across traffic, and there's someone waiting to go straight. So you're turning left across their lane of traffic, okay? And you turn left and they have to slam their brakes to avoid T-boning you. You know, just because you didn't get into an accident doesn't mean you're not going to fail. You're probably still going to fail because if they didn't slam their brakes, you would have gotten into an accident. So getting into an almost accident will usually cause you to fail as well, because you're relying on someone else slamming the brakes or driving defensively. And if they didn't slam their brakes or drive defensively, you would have caused an accident. So it's basically the same thing as causing an accident, if you can imagine it that way. That's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.